back there.
Oh, good.
I'd like to call our city council meeting to order and ask everyone to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And we're going to have James Rollo, who's in the audience tonight, Boy Scout, who's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. James, you want to come all the way up? Start, yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We couldn't let you just sit in the audience.
I know.
The roll, please.
Vaughn.
Here.
Shower.
Here.
McIver. Marquez.
Here.
Kenny.
Here.
Clistic.
Here.
Belzak.
Here.
6 present and 1 absent.
We have a quorum. The next item on the agenda is questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. Does anyone on the city council have an announcement or general comments to make? Then I'd like to leave it open to the audience. Does anyone want to address the council? It does not have to be on items that are on the agenda this evening, but if you wanted to address the council, please feel free to come forward.
In 3 minutes.
And of course, we do have the 3-minute limitation, yes.
Hello, Council. Just a couple of general updates. My name is Steve Leopoldo, Darien resident. First, I would like to thank Brian for the work that's happened with keeping people informed on the Sterigenics issue with the Darien Direct Connect. It's very much appreciated. The other thing I just want to let people know, especially people viewing at home, it's not shut down. We do have legislation that's going to be hopefully heard during veto session that should help protect public health from the dangers of ethylene oxide. But again, Sterigenics is still operating 24/7 and pumping ethylene oxide into our community, so it's still an issue. The other quick thing I wanted to mention is I know there was some talk about doing a zero idling ordinance in Darien. That's awesome. Thank you. One thing that I would want to make sure the council is aware of, there are technologies currently available to allow diesel engines like semis to, rather I should say the cabs, still to have air conditioning and heating without having to actually run the engine. There's a bunch of zero idle companies that now have air conditioners and heating devices, so it's not necessary, like the Evanston Ordinance Part C says that the exception is you could still run the truck for air conditioning for life safety things, but with the new technology that's out there nowadays, that's really not necessary. So
Yeah, Steve, we did discuss this during our goal-setting session last Monday. So were you there? I can't remember.
no, I've had the
yeah.
flu and strep and everything else, so
Okay.
I apologize.
Well, we did discuss it, so that we are going forward with that ordinance, and right now staff is preparing that for us.
Thank you, appreciate
Okay.
it.
Did anyone else want to address the council?
Good evening, Mayor Weaver, Council. My name is Stacy Tantillo. I'm a Darien resident. I've been a resident now for 14 years. Very proud to be a Darien resident. My daughter is a current junior at Hinsdale South High School, and I'm standing here before you tonight to talk about the District 86 referendum that will be on tomorrow's ballot. It is the eve of the election. You might wonder, why am I here so late? Why didn't I come before? I've been tirelessly campaigning with not only Hinsdale South parents, but Hinsdale Central parents also. We've come together as a group to get this referendum passed for the betterment of our schools. Our schools have not seen a referendum passed since 1962 when Hinsdale South was built. When the weather got cold this past fall, the kids were going to schools with blankets, sweaters, jackets, mittens, hats, because the boilers are that old. They're from 1962. We need safety at our school. We need our schools to be ADA compliant. They are not. Our kids in wheelchairs and with walkers that need assistance have to get the assistance. They cannot do anything on their own, and that's a shame. They want to be independent, and they should be independent. And this would come about with the D86 referendum. It's a big ask. I get it. $166 million. Nobody wants to see their property taxes increase. But a home that's valued at $500,000, their yearly increase will be $300. It's really, I don't want to say it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. But But I just want everyone out there to know, and hopefully anyone that's listening out in TV land, and I'm really kind of addressing this towards the empty nesters. My mother is an empty nester and a widow. She lives in LaGrange, has lived there my whole life. I attended great schools in LaGrange. My parents have never once complained about having to pay school taxes because they know what comes out of it. Great students, individuals that lead the towns in the future and lead the country in the future. So, if I leave here with anything tonight, I hope maybe I've gotten some people to think about it. Hopefully maybe you guys might reach out to your constituents, send a quick email, just voicing your opinion. I do have some information if anyone is interested, and I can give you a flyer. But this is so important. Please consider it when you go to the ballots tomorrow if you haven't, to the polling office tomorrow if you haven't already voted. Thank you.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Did anybody want a flyer? Any information? You've probably seen it, I'm guessing.
Actually, District 86 sent out a very nice letter and flyer that, and it
With
was
a
very
breakdown.
informative. Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
informative.
Dr. Law has been wonderful throughout this. He has gone to people's homes, businesses. He went to Indian Prairie Library. He has spoken endlessly about this. The biggest thing I can say about this is bringing the divide of Central and South and eliminating that, because that's a long-standing thing, and it's time for it to be over. We are one district, we are one community, and that's how we need to start viewing this. Thank you for
Stacy.
your time.
Thank you. Did anyone else want to address the council? Well, I'm going to put a student on the spot. We have a student that's working on a civics class. Amanda, you're in the back row. You're sitting all the way in the back row. Why don't you come up and tell us what you're doing? And I think your family wants to take a picture of you too. On top of that, because now you're famous talking to the city council. Go to the microphone, please. Yeah, it bends.
Hello. So as said, my name's Amanda Wiggins, and I'm a current junior at Downers Grove South High School, and I'm in a multicultural class. And for one of our service learning projects, I chose to do the council meeting. So, yeah.
So what do you have to report about?
Just
what we
like-
do, or what?
Yeah, basically what I see and what I hear and like what everyone's talking about. So.
Okay. Please be sure to take an agenda with you, so you
Yeah.
know what we did tonight. And if you have any questions, I'll volunteer our city administrator, Brian Vanna, to call anytime you want to get any information that you need for your class.
Thank
And
you.
also, the meetings are taped, they're shown live and taped, and you can get them on our website or on YouTube if there's something you'd like to watch over also.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. Thanks for having the courage to come up here. You did great. If there's no further questions for the council, let's move on to the approval of the minutes of October 15th. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Marquez, seconded by Alderman Belzak. Any additions or deletions for the minutes? In the roll, please.
Marquez,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
Clistic,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Shower,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
6 ayes and 1 absent.
The minutes have been approved. The next item is receipt of communications. Do any of the aldermen have communications to share? Alderman Kenny?
Good evening, Madam Mayor. I just have two tonight. I have one from Mr. Charles Sims on the 7200 block of Bayberry. He had an issue with some bushes in the Park District. We put them in the right spots, or put them to talk to the right people. And I think most of you might have received an email over the weekend from a Dr. Catherine Hamilton regarding the Sterigenics.
I thought it was Howard. Was it Howard?
Howard.
Howard,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Howard. No address on that. Just sent her the information about the Ashton Place Town Hall meeting on the 29th of November, and I'm hoping they can answer whatever questions she has. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, any other communications to share? I received one from, actually, the Brian Vanna was copied, and I think all the city council too. Mr. David Marzewski, just writing to compliment our city, our public works department. He had at least 3 occasions in which he was working with or came in contact with our employees, and he found them to be very polite and very good at what they were doing. So I'd like to give that present that for the record. Any other communications? Okay, then let's move on to the mayor's report. I do have a report, and there's been rumors flying, circulating for a long time, and I wanted to make sure I put them to rest. I will not be running for re-election as the mayor of the city of Darien. It's been my honor to serve the residents of Darien first as an alderman, starting in 1987, and then as mayor in 2000, starting in 2005. My decision has been a number of years in the making, 2 years at least, because I love this city and I care very much about its future. But it's time for me to turn over the reins to another mayor. So thank you very much for the privilege of having served you and all the residents of the city of Darien for 30 years. Thank you. Let's move to city clerk's report.
I have one item, Madam Mayor, and it's a meet and greet with the mayor on Monday, November the 19th at 6 p.m. here in City Hall in the upstairs conference room.
I'm still here. I'm not going away for a while. Okay. City administrator's report?
No report, Mayor.
Okay. Department head information? Dan?
No report this evening, Madam Mayor, but I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Chief Thomas?
I too do not have any kind of reports, but answer any question.
Okay, any questions? Or Alderman Klistic?
Thank you, Mayor. Quick question for Minister Brian Vanna. I know we talked to Attorney Murphy with regards to updating our codes and with regards to the new business licensing. I'm just wondering how that's progressing or what the timeline or status is on that.
Well,
From the goal session. I know it was just 2 weeks ago, so I'm just wondering if he had any
think a
follow-ups
week.
or if he's
Just
busy.
last
Oh,
week,
wait.
last Monday.
This week. Sorry.
Yeah.
Time's flying.
They're good, but maybe not that good.
You know, we've done some preliminary review of the codes, but I would imagine over the next 30 days, we would come back
Okay.
with something.
So about a
Again,
month.
as we talked, currently, if that were to come up to us quickly, it's a special use process. It would take some time.
Okay.
But over the next month, we plan on looking at the codes and doing some comparisons and getting
Okay.
some, if we need, expertise in on somebody on chemicals and storage, things like that. So
Okay.
about 30 days out.
30 days. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's move to the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 181913 in the amount of $786,030.44 from the listed funds, payroll for the period ended October 25th in the amount of $245,534.64 for a total be approved of $1,031,565.08.
Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Kenny, seconded by Alderman Shower. Discussion? Then the roll, please.
Kenny,
Aye.
Shower,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Marquez,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
Clistic,
Aye.
6 ayes and 1 absent.
The warrant has been approved, and Treasurer Corn would like to go over the details of the Police Pension Committee meeting.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. As I'd indicated in the work session to the aldermen, we have a quarterly meeting regarding the Police Pension Fund, which currently has approximately $27 million in assets being managed by 2 outside investment advisors, each with holding about half of the amount of the investments in there. This is for the quarter ended September 30th, so it's not our fiscal quarter, but it's the calendar quarter that we have these meetings, so it's not a perfect overlap, but had a good quarter. Actually, like I say, this ended September 30th, and then the market sort of fell apart in October, although it started coming back in late October and early November, starting to see some positive signs. But anyway, we had a very good quarter, and for the quarter ended September 30th, the one investment advisor had a return of 2.74% for the 3 months, and the other 2.13%. The latest 1 year, which sort of gives us an idea how close we are to the 7% that we're looking to attain. The one advisor was at 6.49%, the other one at 6.39%. So again, looks pretty good, but again, we have October to deal with, which I'm sure will drag those numbers down somewhat, but hopefully things continue on in a positive vein. The one positive aspect they had to say was fixed income. With interest rates going up, the fixed income part of the portfolio should at least start generating some income. It's been a drag up until now because equities have been carrying it all since been getting basically zero on the fixed income part of the portfolio. So that should start giving us some tailwinds, at least in that regard.
Any questions for the treasurer? Then let's move on to standing committee reports. Alderman Marquez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At its last meeting, the Municipal Services Committee approved the minutes of the September 24th, 2018 Municipal Services Committee and sent that to the clerk's office. And our next meeting is tentatively scheduled for November 26, 2018. We were talking about this because Mr. Gombeck will be going in for surgery next week, and we may have Mr. Vanna lead that meeting for us if we hold the meeting. That's what we were talking about.
Piece of cake.
Oh, man,
Piece
I
of
love
cake.
it.
Did you say Mr. Van is doing the surgery?
Piece of cake.
Boy.
Piece of cake. Mr. Gombeck.
Dan, good luck in your surgery.
Thank you.
Yes. Good luck, Dan.
Thanks.
Other committee reports, Alderman Shower?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The minutes from the October 1st Admin Finance meeting were approved at tonight's meeting, and our next Admin Finance meeting will be held on Monday, December 3rd, 2018, at 6 p.m. in our upstairs meeting room.
Okay, police committee? We have no report?
I have information.
Okay.
The next scheduled meeting for the police committee will be on Monday, November 19th at 6 p.m. in the police department training room. And as Alderman McIver always says, pending items.
Pending items. Alderman Shower, what was the date on yours?
December 3rd.
Okay. And Alderman Marquez?
November 26th,
Okay. Forgot to write those down.
pending Dan Gombeck.
Thank you. Okay, let's move to questions and comments, agenda related. Do any of the aldermen have any questions or comments on the items that are on the agenda this evening?
Does that include new business, or?
Yes.
As everybody knows, we mentioned it in the work session that the new business, basically the resolution for the lease agreement between the Lions Club and the City of Darien was approved. Do you guys want to move that to consent agenda, or does it really make a difference? Or
Let's leave it where it's at.
Okay.
Let's just.
That's fine.
You could add to the discussion at that point.
Cool.
Because you can't under the consent agenda, so.
no problem.
Okay, any other? Okay, so let's move on to old business. And there being no old business, let's move to the consent agenda. There are items A through H on the consent agenda, and I will read them for the record. The first item is a motion to grant a waiver of the raffle license bond requirement for the Darien Women's Club. The next one is a motion to grant a waiver of the raffle license bond requirement for the William F. Murphy Parent Teachers Organization. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution to enter into an engineering agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering for our 2019 street maintenance program in an amount not to exceed $32,826. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an engineering agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering for the pavement corings for the proposed 2019 street maintenance program in an amount not to exceed $11,500. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a 3-year intergovernmental agreement between the city of Darien and the county of DuPage for mowing along our county roads, right-of-ways, which includes 75th Street, Cass, and Plainfield Road. It is Plainfield Road, isn't it? The third,
Yes.
yeah, okay. And the next item is a motion to approve a resolution accepting the public improvements subject to maintenance for Carriageway West Unit 6 subdivision, which is the 2 lots on Evergreen Lane. And the next item is a motion to approve a resolution approving a plat of easement for Carriageway West Unit 6 Evergreen Lane. And the last item on the agenda is a motion to approve an ordinance approving a special use for a recreational facility called Club Fusion at 7879 Lamont Road. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Marquez, seconded by Alderman Shower. The roll, please.
Marquez,
Aye.
Shower,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Clistic,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
6 ayes and 1 absent.
All items have been approved. Let's move to new business, and item A is a motion to approve a resolution approving a lease agreement between the City of Darien and the Darien Lions Club, which is a not-for-profit organization. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman Clistic. Discussion. Did you want to go over it a little
Yes,
bit?
as I was saying, that this was approved tonight at admin finance meeting. It was 2-0. Any questions on it at all, or?
Well, the details of it.
Joe?
No, Alderman Shower.
Yeah, you.
So the bottom line with this is that the Darien Lions Club has had some issues with trying to get storage area, and they've been renting out some locations on a monthly basis that's costing them a fairly significant amount of money. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to end up putting up a shed that's going to be right next to the garage that's right out here. And for all intents and purposes, the Lions Club are going to basically pay for it, and we're going to end up owning it, and we're just going to lease it out to them. So that's the details to it.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that explanation. Any other discussion on the item? In the roll, please.
Shower.
Aye.
Clistic.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
6 ayes and 1 absent.
The item has been approved. The next item is questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. Do any of the aldermen have announcements of any kind that you want to bring forward? Alderman Clistic?
Thank you, Mayor. Tomorrow is Election Day. Make sure you vote.
You betcha. Did anyone in the audience want to address the council? Then I'd like to have a motion to adjourn. And without Alderman MacGyver here, we don't know what to do.
We're confused.
Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman Belzak. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Tom, nice job.